You're listening to That Dance Show here with Kelly Palmiter on EvolutionPOP.com. All right, Facebook, what's happening out there? This is That Dance Show. I'm back here. We are back home in the studio. I love it. We are That Dance Show. I'm your host, Kelly Palmiter. We are on the Be On Air network, EvolutionPOP.com. You can find us on Facebook, Evolution Pop page, and you can also find us on the TuneIn app. Well, today we got something really, really special for you. I'm asked all the time, hey, Kelly, you know a lot of people. I'm traveling at some place, let's say Oscoda, Michigan. Do they have dancing there? I have no idea. I've never been to Oscoda, but there'd be a really cool way if we could find that out. Well, we're changing that today. On the phone, on the show, we have the amazing David Leip, and he has created an app that's going to revolutionize Find.Dance. Hey, David, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing well.
Hey, all right,
we
got you. We got you. Hey, guess what? Facebook's going to be really excited. I figured out the phones. This is amazing. I know, right?
I'm glad to hear it.
I can so dance, but I just can't figure out a phone. All right, so David, talk to me about this app. What's the name of the app, first of all?
The app is called simply Find.Dance.
Find.Dance.
Find.Dance. And Kelly, I created this app. I've worked with, a number of friends and colleagues, but I really created this app because there was a challenge that I was finding when I traveled. I was looking for places to dance.
Right.
When I travel, Kelly, I'll tell you, I always travel with dance shoes.
Oh man, because, so do I. Exactly. It's like a toothbrush anymore. Like you've got to go with it.
I take my dance shoes with me wherever I go because you just never know when there's going to be a dancing emergency. And I have them regularly.
Speaking of a dance emergency, I'm just going to interrupt you real quickly. So back in the days of pagers, my message on the pager was like, if you have an emergency, right, like text me the number or whatever it was. And all my friends used to constantly just give me crap because of, I have a dance emergency. And here we are, an app is created because you never know when a dance emergency is going to happen.
You never know when there's going to be a dance emergency. Exactly.
Oh, I love it.
And so what I find when I'd be out of town, sometimes I'd be traveling somewhere as part of my day job or something.
Right.
I'd always, if I was in out of town for more than a day, I'd always be looking for some place where can I go dancing in. Such and such a town. If I'm in Denver, right. If I'm in Boston, or whatever.
Right. Just where can I dance?
It is really hard to find a place in a community that you're not really familiar with, right? You can go on Google, you can do Google searches, but there is no good Google search you can do.
Yeah, it's really hard
finding event information, right?
Right. And earlier when we were talking, you were talking about like after you get an event, but then you're added to a mailing list, and that's all fine and well. But if you don't know the area, how do you get on the list? Like, how do you find these places?
Right, exactly. And so, I usually manage to find some place to go dance, but most of the great places I find just by happenstance.
Right. Some of those, yeah.
And so I started thinking, wow, gee, it'd be really great if there was an app to help with this problem, right? And so I concluded, well, maybe I should get off my butt and do something about it.
Right.
And so I started talking to a lot of people, and I hear the same thing from a lot of my dance friends. Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I'd like.
Yeah, totally. And that's a very common theme.
Yeah. So we thought, let's just go do it. Let's just start pulling it together. We've been working on it for a little while now, and we just kind of started launching. So there's a website, Find.Dance. Imagine that. That's the name, right?
I know. So I gotta say, I'm gonna interrupt you real quickly.
Sure.
First of all, Dawn Marie, hello. And she commented on Facebook, I can't believe no one figured out how to do this before. And she loves how easy it is to use. So already listeners are logging on. So let's just do, so it's Find.Dance. And then if you want information about this, you can go to about.find.dance. And that gives you all of the information, so that way you can either read about it, check it out, or, you know, visually look at it as we're hearing about it. You can also go on to the iOS App Store. I believe, David, you have it on a phone app now, so you just search Find.Dance or Find.Dance in the iOS App Store, and you can get it for your mobile device. It's so cool.
Yeah, that's right. We have it for iPhone and for iPad as well. There's a separate iPad version that takes advantage of the larger screen if you have an iPad.
Oh man, that's amazing.
And eventually we'll have it for Android. We're working on that now.
Okay, working on the Android. I like it. I do enjoy that because I have an iPhone. We got it first, but hey, all right.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I did say I was trying to solve a problem for myself, and I'm also an iPhone user.
But we're going to change the world in the process.
I am trying to help others as well. So yes, we are doing Android, and but the web app that we have, it's not yet perfect, but it works, and you can use that on a phone as well, right? It is responsive,
right?
So it should look reasonable on a mobile browser,
right?
But usually if you have an iPhone, the experience in the app itself will be better, and there's a couple of reasons why that is, and I can tell you about that.
Sure, yeah. I'd love to hear all about it.
Yeah, so when you're searching for an event, it'll actually take advantage of knowing where your location is. We don't track your location, but the app on your phone obviously knows where you are. And so if you want to find places close to where you are, you can do that. You can enter another city as well. Right now we're just covering the US.
Okay. You did mention that in my promo that I did say St. Petersburg, Russia. I was just really excited.
Well, I honestly, Kelly, I'm glad you did that, because in fact that is our intent, right? What we're striving for eventually is to allow users to say, hey, I'm going to be in Paris next week or something. If you're lucky enough to go to some exotic place and you want to go dancing there.
That's really cool, because I see a ton of events over in like Europe and salsa events in Hong Kong and stuff. So yeah, that's an amazing thing to shoot for.
Right. But as you might imagine, even just covering the U.S. is already a substantial challenge. And rather than wait another year before we could, cover the world, we want to get this out into the hands of the dance community in the U.S.
Oh, that's amazing.
And start getting feedback, because we want to know if we're in fact doing the right thing, right? So we had our ideas about how it should look and stuff, but we want to hear from people. Is this suiting their need? What are the features would they like, and so forth. Okay. But if you are in the app and you're searching for events, it'll actually there's a feature so you can get directions from where you are. So if you're I'm ready to go, or you it'll tie into the phone's mapping. So it'll give you, like, if you're driving, or walking, turn by turn directions and so forth. You can also follow. We have a feature so you can follow an event. And
really,
what that is, so following
this is so cool. Like I've got the website up and I'm checking it out, and I'm still playing with all these features. This is amazing.
Yeah, and when you follow an event, what happens is if the event gets canceled for some reason, right? Like, this is just a hypothetical, Kelly, but let's say there's something like a polar vortex.
That just freezes the entire Midwest. That just, like, Chicago shut down for a week. Let's just pretend.
just hypothetically speaking. So like I'm in the north as well, and we understand sometimes there's snow events or other things that can come up. So if the event gets canceled and you're following that, if you're using a mobile phone, you'll actually get a push notification to your phone letting you know that that event has been canceled, or maybe the venue has changed for some reason.
Okay.
So it can be a little bit practical.
Really?
I know I've in the area where I live, sometimes I just go to the usual place where I go to dance, or one of the usual places, like there's a place I go every Wednesday night. I'll go later tonight. And sometimes I don't check to see if there's an email or something. And I've shown up and, oh, where's everyone? There's no one here, right?
Right.
And then I get on my email and say, oh, okay, yeah, they did send an email.
Right, yeah, there's so many times.
It's a little bit nicer if you can get like a proactive notification on that.
That's excellent. That is really cool.
Yeah,
man.
so that's,
So
and,
you had mentioned to me earlier that this is like really just fledgling. Like this is just the start of this app. So how do we get people more involved? So people need to input the information then, would you say?
Yeah, we have people already adding events. You'll see there's a fair number of events. We've got events around Chicago and Atlanta and Boston and stuff. But there are parts of the country where coverage is certainly much more sparse.
Okay.
Right now, but even around in Chicago, obviously you're in Chicago.
Yeah.
It would be really great if you have a favorite venue and you don't see it there, let them know, right? We want everyone adding information. It's completely free. It's free to use. It's free to add information.
Yeah, and it's like Dawn Marie said, it's insanely easy. Earlier today, because I'd known about the app, but I know you were still working on getting it live, and I hadn't checked back in, and then finally we've been reconnected. And earlier today, I was super surprised that in like 2 seconds, I was able to sign up, create a profile, and register like in 2 seconds. It's so user friendly.
Well, I'm so glad you said that, Kelly, because that's what we're striving for. We want to make it really simple. And the other thing is, if there's an event that you wish was listed there, you can add it yourself.
Okay.
Right. You don't have to be the event owner. So one thing I discovered as I was working on this is there are places that you just look at their website. They're on top of things. They post their stuff to their own Facebook
like to the minute almost, like they're on it.
Right. And at the same time, I know there are other places that, sometimes have like really great events, and you look at their website and their website is still talking about an event that's coming up 3 years ago.
Right.
And so
you're like, what's happening? Why is this not even 2000s? Like the event was in 1997.
Some places, there are some venues that run great, like weekly events and stuff, but they're just not on top of the promotion or keeping things up to date on their own website.
Right.
So what I found is in almost every community, there are people who kind of come in and try to like fill the gaps. So they'll have like a little local mailing list that they just put their friends and other dance friends on, and people they count over time.
Okay.
Or maybe they have like a little local website or something.
Right.
So I want to make it easy for those people. If they want to add information, I don't want to stop them. I don't want to say it's only has to be the venue owner.
Right.
If the venue owner is not stepping up,
and somebody else can come. Yeah. All right, David. I tell you what, we gotta take a quick break, or as I like to say, we got to pay some bills. So we're going to listen to a couple of ads. But David's not going anywhere. He's going to come back. He's going to continue talking about this here on Evolution Pop on the Be On Air network. And David actually has a really cool story of why he started this. And we all have that cool travel story of how we somehow happened onto a dance, or maybe we knew about it, but whatever. But we're going to share some of those stories, and we're going to get more into the app and where we want, I say we like I'm part of this, where David wants to take it and where he hopes it can be. So We are going to go ahead and pay some bills. And David, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, there we go. Welcome back to That Dance Show. I'm your host, Kelly Palmiter. We're on the Be On Air network here on EvolutionPOP.com. You can find us on Facebook, EvolutionPOP, and you can find us on the Be On Air, on the TuneIn app. Somebody slid in other show openers into my commercial segment. I love it. David, hey, David is the creator of Find.Dance app, and we're talking to him more. David, you still there, buddy?
I'm still here.
Excellent. I know, right? Oh, that's awesome. A couple people popped in on Facebook. Jimmy Mulligan, what's happening? Jimmy Mulligan likes you, he says. Jimmy Mulligan is a fellow dancer and very technical minded as well. I think he travels way more than I do. So we're going to get David to tell, or we're going to get Jimmy to tell all his friends. So we're going to populate this app and get all of the dancing all across the U.S.
Jimmy likes me because he hasn't seen me. You know, I think that old expression, I've got a face for radio.
You know, so do I, but then they put me on Facebook, you know? God.
Yeah, there you go.
4K! I love it. So we were talking before we listened to some awesome commercials. We were chatting about where you want this app to go. So what is your wave the magic wand, anything you can think of, where do you want this to go?
Well, I don't know if this sounds pretentious or not, but really my goal is just to make it easier for people to get out and dance, any kind of partner dancing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have, you know, whether you're into tango or to swing, ballroom, salsa, you know, other forms of Latin, whatever it is, to me, I've been bitten by that bug ever since I got involved in dancing. And for me, it was kind of a midlife thing. I've been dancing for, well, probably 15 years, and the last 10 years, pretty seriously.
Right.
But I just noticed, there's physical health benefits. There's mental health benefits. There's emotional health benefits.
There's so much benefit to dance.
I mean, my life just feels so much richer ever since I started dancing.
Oh,
and
I agree.
We just want to share that with other people. And one way is to make it easier for people to get out and dance more easily. So that's fundamentally what this app is about. And so what I'd really love is everyone listening, if you could help us, because look, we're not really making any money off of this. This is just, we're doing this for the good of the community.
Yeah, it's a labor of love for everybody.
It's a labor of love, exactly. And so if you could help us by just spreading the word. So if anyone out there knows other influencers like Kelly here, please reach out to me. I really want to help the spread the word. You can help me spread the word. Let venues know that they can post their events.
For sure, right? For sure.
Yeah, and you can reach me personally. I'll put it in the chat.
Cool.
David at Find.Dance. If you want to send me email, or you can reach out to me on some of our social channels. You can direct message me on Twitter or whatnot.
Oh, I like it. Hey, David, let me ask you this. So you are trying to find dancing. You're trying to find either social dancing or events with dancing. You're not necessarily worried about, I'm going to turn my mic up a little bit. You're not necessarily worried about finding classes or anything like that, right? Your focus is like dancing, like social dancing.
Correct. That was the whole focus, where we want to put our focus.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of the things is we want to see where this goes, right? So we want feedback from folks. I did hear from a couple of folks that they might be, this kind of travel scenario. If I'm somewhere else, if I can't find a compelling social dance, it might be interesting if I could find a workshop or something like that. So we have that in mind. Maybe we'll add that at some point.
Okay.
but right now we're trying to stay focused on social dancing so we can make sure we can do that and do it well.
Right.
Before we get ourselves too distracted on it.
Right, because you could branch out and cover so many different things. So I really like that you're like one thing at a time. Like ultimately, I getting to know you, you have a vision, and when you have a vision, you execute it. So I have no doubt that in the future that it's going to be everything encompassing dance. But like you said, we got to start with one area before we just tackle a lot and don't get anything done.
Right. I don't want to do a lot of things poorly. Right? If I can get this one thing done well, and
just
then
do one thing really well. Oh man.
Exactly.
So all right. So real quick, Jimmy Mulligan, how will he receive the revenue to fund it? I logged on. Maybe I missed that. Are you? Ooh, this is excellent, Jimmy. This is free to all. But maybe you could tell me how you're handling the funding of this. You know what I mean? Like, is it, you said it's a labor of love, but I mean, the dance community certainly doesn't want you to go broke providing this amazing free service to everybody. You know what I mean?
Right. So it is all free, and right now I'm self-funding it, right? I'm not rich, but I do have a day job and reasonable income. And if I get a lot of people using this and it takes off, I am just thrilled, right?
Okay. It's going to take off. I'm calling it now. Like it's not even me saying I'm going to put my weight behind it. It's me saying this product is so life-changing that it's like, I don't know, it's like slap chop. Like it is like, it's going to change the game. I know it is. So I want you to start thinking when it blows up huge and it does the things you want. That's the thought process I want you to have, David, because that's what's going to happen. I guarantee it. Hey, let me ask.
I love the enthusiasm.
Oh man, this is amazing. I'm not going to lie. Like I've been dancing for a long time now. Like Jimmy and I go way back. Way back, over 20 years. And it's like even before YouTube, you had to figure out places to dance. And now with all this technology right in our hands, we could be like, yeah, all right, let's figure this out. So this is going to be amazing. One thing that we talked about earlier that I would love to see down the line is maybe it's a bar or maybe it's a good music spot that isn't necessarily frequented by dancers. And I'll give you an exact example. One of my favorite places of all time, which I'm hitting tonight, Jimmy and I are going tonight to get some dancing in, is Kingston Mines. And it's a bar in Chicago. Chicagoans know it. It's got 2 stages. There's live Chicago blues all the time. Amazing music, amazing dancing, but it's not populated by dancers. Like it's populated by a lot of people who do like the kind of white boy dance, right? They're just kind of standing there, but they'll make room on the dance floor if you want to dance. So if you go to a place like that with your own partner or with a group, you have just an absolute world-changing time. But if you're pop into town and you go there expecting to find other dancers, you're probably not going to be able to. So that'd be really cool if there was a spot in the app down the line. That way there was like hidden gems or something in each city so you could want to check out.
So you're trying to change this place like 1-2 people at a time, right? So
there you go. Tonight there'll be 3 because me, Jimmy, and myself and Elisa are going, but some other people going. But what I'm trying to do is, I didn't know about Kingston Mines until somebody told me about it, right? So if I was to travel somewhere and there was an equivalent like in Seattle, and I missed out on what is my favorite bar, but Seattle's version of that, or dance place. It is a bar, but you know what I mean? So I'm not trying to make Kingston Mines a dance place. I'm trying to say if you're a dancer and you have somebody you can dance with, you are going to have probably the night of your life, so long as you don't mind dancing with that one person, like as long as you're there.
Yeah, they've got a good floor and good music.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
and that's all you care about. So today you can put that kind of stuff in Find.Dance. We don't prevent you from doing that.
Okay.
When we started designing it, that's not primarily what we were thinking of. But yeah, you can absolutely do that, and there is a place where you can put comments in for the event. So if it's a regular weekly thing or several nights a week, you can put it in as a recurring event.
Okay.
And then just what I would suggest is just in the comments, make sure you describe it accurately as you just did, right?
Right,
that,
as it's a bar really that you're going to find a place to
dance place, but it's, you know, as long as you have someone to dance with, you can have a great time dancing there.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh, perfect.
And,
I'm going to put that in tonight when we go. I'm putting in Kingston Mines. That is, of course, we're going to hit it after we hit our West Coast Wednesdays, which I will talk to April Prince, who's the organizer of that, and many other dance events, and we're going to get her to populate her events. Like, I'm hoping you see a nice showing from minimum Chicago, but I'm hoping everyone from everywhere logs on tonight. I hope enough people log on that it crashes your server. Like, that would be awesome. You'd be like, holy cow, there's just too much.
That would be a nice problem to have.
I know. Hey, Jimmy.
And Kelly, you're going to go big with this show as well. So I have no doubt that you're going to have much broader impact. Seriously.
Yeah, well, I thank you.
I think it's great that you're doing the show.
Yeah, I'm really excited. The show's got some great things happening. This is only like my 7th or 8th show, and we're already talking about traveling and putting on live shows. So that'd be great. Maybe, honestly, maybe we could tie them together. Maybe we could do segments to where we pick a random city, and we take the show there, and then we use Find.Dance, and we find a venue, and we do a live show at that venue. I think that would be absolutely amazing.
I like it.
Oh man,
I like it. I really like it.
Oh, this is the random things that come together when people come together. I told you I was only going to have you on for like a segment or whatever, but we geek out on this so much. I still want to hear the story of how this happened. Right, I still want to do that, and I have a great story of a random dance. Just, I don't know what to call it. Like, I don't want to be like all like, oh, but it was like a dance miracle. It was amazing. It was one of my favorite social dancing stories of all time. And I'll get into that it coming up in a little bit. But I do want to ask this. So Jimmy pointed out, will you sell advertising? Because Jimmy is interested in purchasing advertising. So that's an idea for you. And I know me myself, I'd love to see that dance show advertised on that app. So I'd really be interested in creating revenue as well and paying for a spot. So do you have that option available?
We do not. But maybe we should talk. Maybe there's an opportunity there.
I think there is.
I will say one thing that I'd be remiss if I didn't mention when you asked how am I paying for this. So we are self-funding. Having said that, if anyone is like really into what we're doing and wants to support us, we do have a Patreon page. Ooh. And there's a little link to it at the bottom of the about page. So if you want to kick in like I think it works monthly. If you want to give us $1 a month or something like that, you know, so that's always welcome.
Okay. So walk me through this. Okay, so what page am I finding this on? Am I finding this on the About Dance or on the Find.Dance?
So if you're on Find.Dance, there's a link at the bottom that says something like more about us or something like that.
Okay, go there about us. Got it.
Excellent. Yeah, which will take you to the About page.
Become a patron. There we go. All right. So if you go to, sorry, David, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm really excited about this. So if you go to Find.Dance, on the very bottom of the page, there's a link that says About Us. If you want to skip the middleman and go straight there, you can go to about.find.dance. And at the very bottom of that page, on the right side, there's a link that says Become a Patron. So I can't speak on them about their advertising, but Jimmy, if you want to send them a couple bucks, I know I'm definitely going to invest because this app is going to be ridiculous. All right, David, don't go anywhere, man. If you've got the time, I'd love to keep you on for our last segment because I think everyone should hear your story. You've told me the story about why this app happened, and I think it's a great story. So stick around, everybody. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to That Dance Show. I'm your host, Kelly Palmiter. We're on the Be On Air network right here on EvolutionPOP.com. You can find us on Facebook on the Evolution Pop page. You can also find us on the TuneIn app. Well, this whole show has been about one of the coolest things that I think I've come across in dance in a really long time, if not ever. Completely game-changing, I'm not going to lie. And that is a dance app to where you can find dance, and that app is Find.Dance. Go online, check it out. Go to the iOS App Store, download it. But the coolest thing, this entire show, we've been lucky enough to have the creator, Mr. David Lipe, with us. David, hi, man. Welcome back from break.
Yes.
All right, so so this app is, I mean, I'm an idea guy, and when I get excited about something, my brain shoots in 1,000 different ideas. So I think, like, down the road, it would be like, and especially somebody who, I don't necessarily collect things when I travel. Like, some people collect shot glasses, or some people collect matchbooks, or whatever it is, right? I think it'd be so cool to have a list of, like, famous ballrooms or famous clubs that, you know what I mean, like, that you could go and you could dance at. I think that would be super cool.
I like that idea.
Yeah, because we were talking about Carolina Shag earlier, and you said that, you know, you go to Carolina, north or south, doesn't matter. If it's Carolina, it's Shag. You know what I mean? And you don't know that much about Shag, and you're like, I wouldn't know the first place to go. Well, Shag, Fat Harold's is the mecca of Shag. So it'd be so cool to have that information up there, but not only just as a bar or as a club, but to differentiate that if you want to go to the mecca of Shag, you go to Fat Harold's. You know what I mean? Like, that'd be
places
so cool.
To do a pilgrimage too.
Yes, that would be amazing.
Road trip. Yeah, that would be cool. I like that idea.
Oh, this is amazing.
Really like
All right,
idea.
so before we continue to talk about this amazing app, I want to tell me the story of what's or why, or just tell me the story of the origin of this app.
Yeah, so it was like a year and a half ago. I was on a trip to Boston. I was in Boston for like 5 days.
Boston? Were you packing the car?
I had my dance shoes along for that dancing emergency, right?
Oh yeah,
and
right.
I was looking for a place to go dancing, right? And I found some place. It was not a great place, but it was a place I managed to get out and dance. Okay. And then while I was there, a number of people said, "Oh, do you know about? There's a place that's called Moseley on the Charles."
Oh,
and
all right.
It's really, really great. If you're into like ballroom and Latin, they do mixed dancing. It's a fairly large venue, good floor. And they said, if you're here on Wednesday, you should go there. And I never would have found this. I looked it up online. They have an awful website.
Oh man,
it doesn't rank or anything, right? But I went there, and it was a great venue, right? Okay. Great venue, great dance. Really enjoyed it, and I left that, and I thought, geez, you know, it's kind of a shame that, you know, I never would have found this on my own if I had not run into someone at another event.
If they had told you about it.
Right. So then fast forward about a couple of weeks, and I did a family trip down to Washington, D.C.
Okay.
And again, and we were, I secretly packed dance shoes for my wife and I. And, you know, it was going to be a family thing. We were going to see the sights and whatnot. But I thought, just in case. And, you know, I thought we probably weren't getting dancing there the way things were going. But we were in our hotel room, and we're getting ready for bed. And my wife looks out the window, and she happens to look down, and in the square across the street, there's a bunch of dancers. And it turns out, I think it's Liberty Square in Washington. Okay. All through the summer, they've got Argentine tango in this square.
Oh,
and it was really nice. And so we said, I said, by the way, I've got your dance shoes. we're not going to bed. We're going dancing. And we went down. We had a great time.
No way.
And yeah. And I was thinking, we never would have known about this place. We would have been like right across the street. If our window was facing a different direction, we wouldn't have known.
You would have never,
right? Or if we hadn't happened to look out and seen it, we never would have known.
Man, you're so close. And it's like to think you were so close and would have never found it.
Right. And so those two things happening like just a couple of weeks apart got me thinking, like, why isn't there an app for this? And then I thought, well, gee, maybe I should get off my butt and do something about it. You know, I work in the IT industry. I've got some of these skills, right?
Right.
Let's just make it happen.
You could be the one to make it happen. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, you know, at first, you know, it was just an idea, and I started talking to other dance friends, and a lot of people were kind of expressing that same frustration. And so then I thought, okay, I'm going to do it, right? We're going to do it. You know, I've got some other people who are helping me out with it. It's not all my own, but yeah, it's a passion of love, and I'm hoping that this is really going to solve this fundamental problem for people.
I think it will. I really think it will. Some comments real quick on the website. Yes, Brittany, this would be great. She says, yes, you could have a dance bucket list of venues.
I love that idea.
Oh, that's amazing. Like, that makes the geek in me want to start researching famous ballrooms and seeing if they're still used, if they're still having dances, and just input that information. I'm going to be putting in information way more than Chicago. Like, this is going to be so cool. Brian Morningstar, what's happening, buddy? You're downloading the app now. Nice. Putting Little Rock, Arkansas on the map. See? We're taking it down, baby. One state at a time.
I know we already have some places in Arkansas in there, so we can use more.
Oh, yeah, get it, Brian. Cool. Helping us out. That's so cool. So one of my stories, I was dancing. I was teaching in Grand Rapids back when I wasn't living there. And I was teaching a workshop, and this was, early 2000s maybe? Like, this is maybe mid-2000s. Like, this is a while ago, 10, 15 years ago. And I forgot what the workshop was, but I'd been doing multiple dances back then even. And somebody said, hey, there's this really great salsa spot in Grand Rapids, which isn't there anymore. I can't even remember the name. And I was like, all right, okay. I'll go check it out with my partner, my girlfriend at the time. So we go there, and it was like Havana Nights. Like, it was Cuba. Like, it was, first of all, my partner and I are white, and we were the only white people. And it was shoulder to shoulder, and it was hot, and it was sweaty, and it was the most amazing dance experience because it literally felt like you were in Havana. Like, you were there, and no one had any attitudes. Everyone was dancing, and the coolest thing that's ever happened to me social dancing was I got tapped on the shoulder, right? And I'm going to say that this was not in the greatest areas, right? Just like you went to that one place and it wasn't, and this was like not in, like, the area wasn't good, and the place was sketchy as hell. And I was already like, all right, you know, whatever. So I get tapped on the shoulder, and I was like, man, do I gotta like fight or something? I had no idea what to expect. And this guy turns around, and this is just from me dancing salsa, starts giving me hand signs like dame, like montaña, like all these things that's rueda. And I said, all right, let's do this. And we proceed to do 3 songs of Casino Rueda. Him calling, and just 2-person Rueda. He didn't speak any English. The only Spanish I knew was Rueda. And afterwards, we shook hands and we parted. And I don't know who those people were. I've never talked to him since. We've never shared a common word together except for dance. And that is one of the coolest things that's ever happened. And I only knew about that because somebody from class said, well, if you want to go out dancing, check out this place. It's crazy.
Nice.
I'm so excited for this app, man. I'm so excited that this app is going to now be able to put that in the hands of everybody else. Oh, dude, I'm so pumped. I'm so excited about this. When you first told me about this way back in the day, which was like not even that long ago, but when you first told me about it, I was super pumped. I was super, super pumped. I can't even get over how much this is going to change people. Speechless, David. Speechless, I tell you.
I'm speechless. I am speechless. No, I hope it does. Right?
Oh, it totally will.
If it gets a lot of people just out dancing a little bit more, not because we're forcing anyone, right? But
No,
just because
just
it's
gives you the
easier
option
for them to find that place.
Yeah.
I am satisfied.
It gives you the option. There's so many times where I would have traveled in the past because I've done a lot of things, right? And one job I had, I traveled almost every weekend all across the country. And there were times where we'd get done work early and I'd be sitting in the hotel like bored. So I'd have to look up like the city fun stuff to do. What I'd rather have been doing has been like dance. Where can I find dance right now? And you have put this in your hands. You're giving it to the people, man. This is so cool. Wow. So you wanna be able to possibly do a bucket list. I like this. And you want feedback. Not only do you want information, but you want people to contact you and give you feedback. Yeah?
Absolutely, right? So as I was describing before, we don't know exactly different ways in which people might want to use this in slightly different ways than we anticipate. Like the scenario you described before, right?
Right.
Is a nice example. I like this. I like that idea of the kind of the bucket list, like the places to do dance pilgrimages to, or something like that.
Yeah,
that sounds like a
cool.
really cool idea that I wouldn't have been smart enough to think of on my own. We want that kind of feedback, right? We want to make this more useful to everyone, right? So,
I love the fact that you are smart enough to make this app out of thin air. Like you magicianed it into life. And I love that you don't think you're smart enough to come up with a category in your app. David, give yourself more credit, my man. I love it.
Oh man.
Yeah, so if you have any ideas on the app out there, like large or small or indifferent, whatever, they love the feedback, right? Because I don't know how it is in IT, but I know as a teacher, like feedback helps. Like talk to me as much as you can. Like don't just not like the app because it doesn't do something or you don't know if it does something and then just leave it alone. Like ask. Contact them, let them know, so that way if it doesn't exist and it will be a game changer, then they'll put it into play. If it does exist, they can just tell you how to access it. Like it doesn't make sense to not say anything or not offer help.
Right. So and I'd be remiss if I did not say, of course, if you're downloading the app from the App Store, consider giving it that 5 stars just because you love the idea so much.
Well, that goes without saying. I mean, I sound like I'm your motivational speaker here. I can't talk highly enough of you. So of course I'm going to go online and I'm going to go on there and I'm going to give you the highest rating possible because this app is ridiculous. And the fact that this app right now is so nice, and as I talk to you, I find out it's in its infancy. Like this is just the start of this app. You'd be a fool not to give it 5 stars. That's what I think.
Yeah. So, I appreciate that, Kelly. And the thing is, the truth is, for this app to be successful, we really have to have traction, right? So,
yes,
as nice as the app might look, and I'm glad you like the way it looks and stuff. If we don't have a lot of good data in there, it's useless.
Right. It's just a pretty
so that's why I'm hoping everyone can tell their friends about it. We can get more people adding information into it. I'm committed to this. I'm going to support it, but it's only going to be valuable to people if we get a lot of people in the community.
Agreed.
Using it and finding value. So it's kind of a chicken and egg kind of issue.
Exactly.
Right? We're lucky that we had a lot of supporters already kind of adding information.
Okay.
Even in the very early days. But that's what this needs to continue for the community.
Awesome.
And so I really appreciate your support, Kelly.
Oh man, anything I can do, any traction I can give you. I mean, this is not. I mean, this is a great app, and I'm not going to be one of those to be like it's a great app and then never use it. Right? No way. I'm using it tonight. Like I'm going to put in. So tonight we've got West Coast Wednesdays at the Sands. Check that out. Go to westcoastwednesdays.com, and that will be in the app tonight. later tonight when I get there and I go, and while I'm eating, I'm going to hurry up and put it in the app. You can also, I mean, this is so cool. So David, thank you so much for coming on our show with us. We really appreciate it, and I'm really excited about this. Not only am I glad I got to meet you as a friend and keep in contact to see how you're doing, but I want this to be a reoccurring segment on the show. Like every so often, I'd love to get a hold of you, bring you on, and be like, hey, man, let's track the Find.Dance tracker. You know what I mean? Like, let's see where it's going. So I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I'd love to do that, and thanks. And I wish you all the luck with this show. I think I'm kind of psyched about your show. I think this is great.
Yeah, I'm super pumped about this show.
Maybe I hope I can be in Chicago next time and be there in person.
You know what?
I did see Jimmy there in your studio previously. So
yeah. We'll
cool.
be a party. We'll have to take over the TV studio because there'll be like a bazillion of us. It'll be great. I think that would be great, like a round robin of a show. But unfortunately, that's all the time we have for now. David, once again, thank you so much for coming out. I'm just going to do a couple last-minute plugs here. We've got West Coast Wednesday that's happening tonight. I'm going. Jimmy's going, Mr. Superstar himself. And the amazing Chicagoland West Coast swing dancers are all there. The usual suspects will be there. It's amazing fun time. And, of course, they'll have Malort. I know, right? Afterwards, I'm going to hit up Kingston Mines, which is one of my favorite places to dance. That won't be until like later. So if you're burning the midnight candle, come join us there for some dances. This weekend in Chicago, we have this wonderful event happening, Dance Camp. It's a swing and country combination weekend where there's workshop, there's competitions, there's everything. I think you can go to Dance Camp Chicago, I believe. I'm typing in now just to see. Let me pull it up. Well, there we go. No, that's not it. All right. Well, I'm horrible, and I gave you not the website to go to, but I'll go online and I'll put the right website. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. This has been That Dance Show. I'm your host, Kelly Palmiter, and as always, we're going to be dancing the night away. So take care out there. Stay warm if you're cold, and if you're warm, then get even warmer. Woo! Oh, yes. Thank you, Brittany. Next Tuesday, live band at the Sands Club. That's right, for some Lindy. All right, y'all. That's been my time. Peace and hair grease.